Hello everybody, welcome to the Be Lucky podcast with me, your host, Daryl Carter. This is your free weekend podcast. We are looking at York, Chester and Haydock, three of my favourite tracks to have a bet at, and I can't wait to get stuck into the ITV racing action. But before we do, I had a chat with Joe Conneely from Go Racing UK about this week's Towcester Derby, and there is a 50% off entry code for listeners of this podcast. So be sure to check out what Joe has to say, and I'll be back with you in a moment.
Brilliant, Daryl. Thanks for having us on. It's the best 6 weeks of the year. In any greyhound racing fan, this is the best 6 weeks of the year from when the Derby starts. It's 6 rounds. It's the best dogs from England and Ireland. We've got the fastest dog on the planet, according to some people, still here in Bocco's Diamond. He won the Irish Derby in November, and he's now here into the quarterfinal. He's unbeaten as well and had to work extremely hard last week in round 3 to hit the front and beat Cheap Sandwiches. A fantastic name. Cheap Sandwiches. We won't go into where the name come from, but it's a brilliant name. Probably the best named dog left in the competition. He's second favourite. The scary thing is, Daryl, the top 5 in the betting are all Irish trained.
Oh.
So 6 and 7 UK trained. With the UK, we've got it all to do to try and win the trophy.
Seems to be following the theme from the horse racing, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, the very best are all Irish based. Now, Graham Holland, trainer of Bocco's Diamond, Cheap Sandwiches, Bombay Pat, they're 3 of the top 4. Now, he is British, but he's moved to Ireland, so technically his class is an Irish trainer. Deladi Dar, he's in at 6-1. He was last year's winner, Deladi Dar, so he's still there, trained by Liam Dowling, another Irish runner. Solomio, Irish runner. Our closest one is Droopy's Plunge at 22-1. So, yeah, this is it's fantastic. It really is. It's a brilliant 6 weeks, a fantastic venue for it, Toast, a lot of work going on. And Saturday is ladies' night as well, quarter-final night.
Lovely, jubbly. So what's your best bet for Saturday then, Joe? Have you got one for me?
It's tough. The big 4 should really win. Now, I've gone Keyfield Maverick in the last quarter-final of the Star Sports TRC Derby at 9:15. I've gone for Keyfield Maverick at 16-1. He's the outside of the field. He's in with Bocco's Diamond, but I'm not sure on Bocco's Diamond's draw in trap 5. I think the dog in Slick Sentinel. He's coming away really well out of 6. Now, if he comes away, he'll come straight across him. So he's got to do everything right, Bocco's Diamond. He's going to be around 2-on. Droopy's Trade in 3 will be moving left. Bubbly Charger in 1 will be moving right. Now, that allows a way for Keyfield Maverick. If he can just come away running, he might get the run of the race here. And at 16-1, I would not put anyone off backing him. But the best bet for me would be a top 3 bet and a place bet. It would be Droopy's Buckham in the quarterfinal 1. So he runs at 8.22 for Tom Hilbron. Now, there's some firms that are going like 13-10, 6-4, first 3. Now, that looks a massive, massive price on a dog who's really well drawn. The 2 dog Solomia will move off and give Droopy's Buckham all the room in the world. He's a strong running type. I'd be amazed if he doesn't qualify here from the first 3. His first 3 through as well to the semi-finals next week. So, yeah, I'd be with Droopy's Buckham first 3. And as a place bet, he's around 12-1 to win the race. I wouldn't pay anyone off that, but I think he looks a really solid bet around first 2, first 3 bet.
Fabulous. And just would you lay Bocco's Diamond? Would you have that much balls to lay the fastest dog on the planet?
I think there'll be plenty you do. I think it'll be I'm not sure how much money there'll be for most in there, but what I would say is I think a lot of it will revolve around what he does, and he might go 1.7. You know, he might go 8-11, 4-5, and people might want to take him on. But there'll be others who go, right, when you go that price, I'm going to fill my boots because he is the fastest dog on the planet.
Yeah.
So there'll be people who say, right, I'm going to wait for that. I'll bide my time. And if he gets to 5 minutes for the race and on the machine, he goes around 8-11, 4-5, people might want to get stuck into that. So I think there'll be a massive market around him. People wanting to take him on. There'll be plenty of people sitting back saying, I won't take the 2 on that's there yet. I might get much bigger on the night.
Brilliant. Wow, it seems like a fantastic weekend to look forward to at Towcester. And just remind us when the final is, please, Joe.
Final Saturday, the 14th of June. So it's the quarterfinals this week, loads of open races, loads of competitions alongside the Derby. We've got the semi-finals next week. The draw will then be done at the Derby lunch on Monday, the 9th of June at Towcester. And the final, Saturday, the 14th of June, a massive day. A whole day is from 10 o'clock in the morning. There's a fun day. There's a fun fair for kids. There's loads going on. Music throughout the day. We've got Bjorn again doing the headline at before racing. So a massive ABBA tribute. And Daryl, you look like an ABBA fan to me.
I am an ABBA fan. I am, Joe.
So we've got Bjorn again on beforehand, and there'll be music on after. But the most important part of the final night is the racing, and we get to see history with the Greyhound Derby final about around 9:15. And not just one of the best ground events, or the best ground event of the year, one of the best sporting events of the year as well, Daryl. Also, Ladies Night is the code. You get 50% off, so you get 50% off your entrance with the code Ladies Night at toasterracecourse.co.uk.
There you go. You can't ask for much more than that. Thanks very much, Joe. Hey, everybody. We're back. Now, let's get stuck in to the weekend's racing, where we're going to look at Haydock, York and Chester. And I really can't wait to get stuck in. I do enjoy these courses. It's a tricky weekend, but we will kick off with the Jack Berry House Handicap Class 3 over 6 furlongs at Haydock. It looks a very, very tricky opening race, I must be honest with you. Heading the market in this 148 is the unexposed Durham Castle, who could be thrown in off a mark of 89, having bolted up in his last 2 starts last year. Fine Interview is second in the market, 4-1 joint favourite. Trilby 7-1. Sergeant Wilco first time cheek pieces 9-1. Tinto 11-1. Cody Lyon 12-1, who surely is being prepped for something at Ascot. Grant Wood 14-1, and much bigger the rest. It's not a race I've got a massively strong opinion on. I thought Trilby could go well here. I thought he was unfavoured by the position he was in the race at York last time over 5 on fast ground. I think coming back to 6 on slower ground at a track he's 3 for 5 at will really suit him. He's around 7-1. I can see him going well, carrying just 9 stone off at the mark of 85. I think when everything falls right for him, he is definitely a progressive and well handicapped horse. Move over to the 210. It's a class 2 over 7 furlongs. And of course, Never So Brave is heading the market. He heads every single market when he lines up, doesn't he? Now, if Andrew Balding can do what he's done with some of the other stout horses that have gone to his yard and improve them, then he could be thrown in, having run in the Jersey last year. He did win here last May. However, he was also beaten here when not really having the pace in August to challenge by Yennefer, who's 12-1. So Never So Brave, 11-4. Just thinks a little bit tight at the top of the market. Telemark is 11-2, has already been behind Never So Brave and the aforementioned Yennefer. 6-1 Bobby Banu, 17-2 Fairpoint. Mayal 9-1, Yennefer 12s with the first time hood on because he ran far too freely 22 days ago. Circlean Bay 16-1, Holguin, who was formerly a classy group horse, 16-1. But the horse I want to focus on is Bobby Banu. I think this is another progressive horse for Roger Varian. Sylvester de Souza's on. He's been off 145 days, which is obviously a slight concern. But he did catch the eye running behind Royal Zabil at Wolverhampton back in January. Freshened up, back on turf, got a fair record fresh. And he returns to Chester, where he was a very good winner on his only visit. There could be more to come from him. He's progressive. He's only 4. He's off a rate of 97. I think he's a very valid each-way alternative to the favourite Never So Brave, who looks a little bit skimpy for me at that 11-4. We move on to the Achilles Stakes back at Haydock, and this is a bit of a straightforward answer really for me, to be honest. I fancy no half measures for Richard Hughes and Oisin Murphy. I think she's got the best form in the race last year, having beaten Relief Rally at Newbury, having finished close up in the Abbey behind Makarova. I think she'll relish any more rain that falls. It's currently good to soft at Haydock. I think she'll relish any more rain that falls. I don't think that's the case for a lot of these horses. She's heading the market at 9-4. I think that's very fair. Jassor, who can bloody let you down. Jesus Christ. There's another horse we're going to talk about that can let you down today as well. But Jassor can pull the arms off his jockey. Will Jim Crowley be strong enough to keep hold of this horse, who has plenty of ability but can't seem to channel it in the correct direction? 10-3. Leovani dropping back in trip and on soft ground for Carl Burke and William Buick 9-2. 7 Questions looks a little bit exposed now, 17-2. Democracy Dilemma, who is sure to lead this field inside the final furlong and then be swamped, and it's much bigger the rest. I think No Half Measures has got a good opportunity to get back to winning ways here. Was given under minimal handling at the finish at Newmarket last time by Ryan Moore. Didn't look to totally enjoy the undulations on that occasion, and was a little bit all over the place. Hopefully a step forward can be done here, and this horse can come through and win for us. Pretty straightforward at the top of the market there. Heading over to York now. York is due a little bit of rain, I believe. It's currently good ground there. This is not a race I am going to be getting involved in. I thought Duran was interesting, second favourite. JM Jungle is heading the market, as he tends to do at these at this York venue time and time again. There's plenty you could consider, but I don't want to waste your time. If you wanted a very tentative selection, it would be Duran, because I think his penultimate start at Ascot, he covered far more ground than the winner, and then he reversed that form next time at Haydock. But if the ground eases at York, I'd be slightly concerned. So I'm not going to get involved there. It's probably best to wait for some of these bets on Friday, let the rain pass through Thursday, and maybe just take a little bit of a back seat rather than jumping in a little bit too early, I think. Back over at Haydock, it is the Nifty 50 Group 3 Filly Stakes. I do like a strange here. Tops the market here at 9-4. Saha for John and Daly Gosden is in here also at around 9-4. It's a fascinating race. I do fancy a strange. I think she could be a very, very good horse. This looks like a winnable Group 3, and they've targeted her seasonal return at this race. I think Beautiful Love might struggle a little bit. She's 4-1 on the ground. If it softens up at Haydock, which it could well do. William Haggas has a good record. Has Chorus in here, who's now race fit. Could go well and be in the 3 at a big price. But I do think a strange, if she's going to be a top class filly, she needs to be taking this. So I'm very keen on her. Switching over to the Bronte Stakes at 3:15 at York. There was plenty double entered for this and the race we just spoke about at Haydock. Scenic heads to market. Happy to take her on over a mile 6. Think she's a little bit suspect of a stayer. She did shape really well behind Shahar last time out. It'd be interesting to see if that form gets a boost before this race is run. But Sueno, for me, is the horse who finished 4th in that Shahar race for John and Daly Gosden and Ryan Moore. I think this is a progressive stayer. Will relish the move up and trip. Will not mind any ease in the ground whatsoever. And it's just a progressive young horse that's got loads more to come. Well worth a massive upgrade at Goodwood on her seasonal return. And should be one of my better bets, I think, on Saturday. Finally, the John of Gaunt Stakes at Haydock is the final race on ITV. All the big guns have stood their ground. Al Yanabi heads the market at 7-2. Audience, now heads the market at 10-3. The bloody the unreliable Audience, who can be an absolute worldie on his day, but those days are few and far between. Will he want a little bit of cut in the ground? I'm not entirely convinced. But keep an eye on the market 5 minutes before the off, because this horse has been backed on a couple of occasions that is won late in the day. Al Yanabi dictated a race over 7 furlongs here the last day, but is a horse with plenty more to offer. His drawn in stall 1 will be up there with the pace of the race. This is going to be fast and furious. Kim Ross will probably need this. He's needed it for the last couple of years. He's 5 to run, but they are starting him over 7 this year. Spycatcher, 8-1 is only okay. You'd be disappointed if he was winning this. 4-year-old Room Service steps up in trip. He's 10-1. 10 Bob Tony. He's got some decent form in France with that useful top gear, but I'm sure he was flattered on that occasion, on the first of those 2 occasions. 12-1. Kikuli's the interesting one. Might be dropped in here for Harry Charlton and Oisin Murphy from stall 12. Oisin's got a great record on him, and he's shaped really encouraging behind Al Yanabi on the rail here at Haydock last time. Ground should be okay. Volterra is another that could be an exceptional horse going forward. A 4-year-old that's improving, that landed the 7 furlong Challenge Cup over Kirat by 3.5 lengths. He's down at the end of last year. He might just need the run. If he was mine, I'd be giving him a spin in this and then looking at a big valuable handicap at the Royal Meeting. But he's not mine, so I don't know what they're going to do with him. There's loads and loads of pace in this race. It's going to be really tricky. It's difficult to find something really solid. But it is a race I'm keen to get involved with, because I've got a couple of stronger opinions on some horses. So a really tricky race to end the day. It's going to be a cracking weekend at Work of Action, as it always is. If you want to become a member of Daryl Carter Racing and listen to their member-only podcast, then please head to www.patreon.com/Daryl Carter Racing. If you DM me on X, Instagram, TikTok or Facebook, you can get a 10% off code for your first month. Until next time, everybody, be lucky.